Alright, I'm back. By the way, isn't this freaking green tarp stall exactly the same one as it was in the last game? Like in the final area, like when I went into there? I'm pretty sure it is like exactly the same.
Piss off.
Yeah, shady individual.
Down to the execution.
Execution.
Where to burn a beast turned human in fallen.
Oh,
Just at least. A witch is to roast as well.
Taking your board to see it.
Edgar's got but 5 winters in him.
I'm taking the girl. She ought to see, ought to know what awaits her if she strays.
talking about me.
Do you want to be my boyfriend?
With no means to earn me livelihood. Violating divine commandments, and worst of all, witches.
I am a witcher. What do you got?
Got the courage to repeat that slander to my face?
Readily. You are a mutant, a freak, a useless relic of a bygone age that should be burned like a withered branch.
Why don't you come fight some neckers and see what happens? How many lives have you saved?
How many people's lives have you saved? From Bruxay, from Leshens?
That has no bearing.
Really?
Asked you a question. How many?
None? Uh-huh. Shut you up instantly, yeah?
There's something to think about, folks.
Preacher's fierce in the mouth, but holler at him and his tail slicks between his legs. Come on, people.
That's not really the point I was trying to make, but more to say, preacher?
Yes? Why would a witcher come here?
Eternal fire?
Do you want to be my boyfriend?
No?
You see what I...
No, also? These people just talking.
Help a poor fella out.
Can I?
Help a poor
Nope.
fella out.
What are you doing here? Ticket seller.
Get any worse?
Show's not on.
Moly, you're a
Got a bunch of bards.
I've such a hard time finding inspiration.
What do you want from me?
Your peepers. So strange.
The cat size? Yeah. So there's gonna be like a show or something here.
But you won't.
Why? Is he unhappy with the coin changer?
You're like the best.
Don't follow me, please.
It is the...
The second sword.
Oh, it's the stage.
Is the first one he brings. Smart.
Actresses and... Alright. And actors. Putting on a show.
Not safe round here.
Maybe if I come back at night, this place will be... They'll have a show for me to watch.
Don't know who you're looking for, but you won't find him.
I'm looking for loot, and there's plenty of loot here. Although it might not be anymore.
Greetings. Cursed mage hunters.
And alchemist powder. That's all I got. That's all you guys got too. What the heck is even this?
The bonny birds that prance by here, cheeks like full bellows, begging to be squeezed.
Ooh.
Fabian, it's unhealthy, this yen for wenches. It'll be your bean, I tell you.
What are you guys doing?
Witcher,
Gus, Mayor?
you're in your kid's humble cellar.
Can't talk to your friend? I can't. They're making statues, but this guy is a little lustful. Alright, well, I'll just like get out of here, I guess. I thought maybe I was coming to a secret area, but not secret at all. Just an area.
Youth these days, hair-brained, all of them.
From now on,
Yeah, I'm being watched.
To fight a pestilence that changes form. None can be certain of his father, brother, or bride. Look upon your neighbour, for he too could be a Doppler. Will we
Doppler,
submit to
yeah.
uncertainty? Will we allow monsters and charlatans to overrun our city?
There, yeah.
May the holy flame of the eternal fire complete this act of cleansing!
You're burning someone, eh? You think he's a Doppler? Is he actually a Doppler? Well, if she's not, she's dead. Nothing
No
happened.
evil can survive the holy fire. The holy fire enlightens, burns, and cleanses. Behold the flame of grace and mercy.
It's just
Special
fire.
fire for you, freak. Nice, slow burning. You'll beg for mercy in all the voices known to you by the others of your species.
Well, he's dead if he wasn't one.
None. I wanted only to live like you. Help me, kind folk, please.
So he admits he's a Doppler.
A Doppler.
Do we know this Doppler? Well, he's dead.
Sure hope Doo-Doo hasn't met the same fate.
Doo-doo. Caleb Mentz. Felicia Corey. High stakes. Find the scribe in Passiflora and sign up for the high stakes Gwen tournament. Oh, okay, not yet, I guess. Soon, though. Oh, you also got... Oh, this is not... Caleb Mensch, the guy who was burning them. In those days, rampant persecution and the smoke of 100 pyres choked Novigrad's air. This grim climate provided cover in which a great many bloody butchers built comfortable nests for themselves. Drummed up conspiracies, mass arrests, and show trials resulted in group executions were the favorite building blocks. Okay, Caleb Mensch, the fanatically ambitious commander of the Church of the Eternal Fire's Temple Guard, was one such opportunist, his moment of triumph coming when he unmasked his superior, the former Temple Guard commander, Chapel, as a Doppler in disguise. Geralt first saw Mensch lighting Chapel's pyre in Novigrad's main square and had no doubt that for this man, the appellation fanatical Horson was too mild by far. Okay. So was he actually a Doppler? Geralt and I had long known that Chappelle, Chancellor of Security for the Church of the Eternal Fire in Novigrad, had died years ago and been replaced by a Doppler masquerading under his name. We didn't breathe a word of this to anyone, of course, for the change was decidedly in everyone's best interest. The Doppler had proved a reasonable creature, deprived of the true Chappelle's cruelty, and under his watch, life in the city had much improved. Sadly, the Chancellor's conciliatory style must have raised suspicions as a wave of terror and persecution began to swell over Novigrad. The Doppler was found out, arrested, and burned at the stake for the greater glory of the Eternal Fire. So he was actually, a Doppler, alright? And Felicia Corey. Geralt had been in situations where he could not prevent someone's death on more than one occasion. In fact, we might say he had grown accustomed to that particular form of agony. It is another thing altogether, however, to stand powerless and watch at the unjust, cruel execution of an acquaintance for whom one had developed fondness. Oh. Such was his lot as regards Felicia Corey, a young sorceress whom Geralt had met while chasing the Kingslayer Letho. Wait, I don't remember her at all. Though Geralt had not gotten to know her deeply, he had nonetheless taken a liking to this former pupil of Philippa Earlhart, who had seemed to him a pleasant and enterprising young woman. Yet she was a wielder of magic, and as such met her end on a pyre. Yeah, I mean, these guys kill people. Temple guards.
No loitering round here.
That's got to work.
They got merchants here, though.
Buy tomorrow what you can buy today.
Maybe it's cheaper tomorrow.
Welcome.
You thought about that?
Welcome.
You don't play Gwent. Well, you're no use to me.
What have you got there?
You sell cards. You don't sell Gwent cards either. What am I gonna do then? You're nothing. You got nothing for me. There you go. You can have some other random shit I picked up. There you go. You buy books. You don't even buy books. Goodbye.
So long.
You don't got nothing for me. You got a band here. You got an herbalist. Herbalist. Hello.
Welcome. Welcome.
It's the exact same person, just now selling herbs.
So long.
What the hell?
Welcome. Welcome.
How many clones of you are there? You're a clone man?
What have you got there?
This guy's got herbs. He's got notes too, though. Necker Warrior Decoction. Mounts never panic. 50% increase to mounted combat damage. I guess I'll buy it. Don't know if I already have it or not, but something. Yeah, I did not have it.
So long.
Necker Warrior Decoction.
On a clear day, you can see Nilfgaard's banners from the city walls.
That's not good at all. Okay, we got a board here. Waitress.
You worth seeing?
And how? Buxom lasses from the lands already taken by Nilfgaard.
Must need someone to show them around Novigrad.
You read my mind.
Good.
Humans
What have you
exhibit a
got?
natural inclination towards brigandry. Every one of them.
Really? Come on. Beware of thief. Sunday last, someone broke into the merchant gin Logobadi cellar, taking out of it a barrel of triple mead. Around the time of the break-in, witnesses saw a thin, bald man rolling a barrel down the street and giggling to himself. The thief was also noticed to be singing a rude song in which he called himself Odrin. Oh, great. If anyone knows the perpetrator's current whereabouts, they are asked to contact the injured party immediately. Good. Haunted house. I seek a witcher of unsullied reputation. Documentation regarding prior achievements and written references preferred. Great. Who will undertake the task of combing the residents on the outskirts of the city, recently acquired by the undersigned, Count Kurt Dysant, in order to find and drive off or kill the creature which is haunting it. A sizable reward is guaranteed. Sincerely, Kurt Dysant, Count of Anchor by writ of King Fortest, temporarily in residence as a Kingfisher. Okay, contract, Imp. On behalf of the Merchants Guild, I hereby announce the following. A particularly bold beast, an imp to our thinking, has taken to thieving the market near the city gates. Though it has not yet harmed any humans, this monster has caused a great deal of irrecoverable financial loss. Whoever tracks down and kills this imp shall receive a hefty reward, one free of all taxes in accordance with our honorable city councilman's decree numbered something. Do not tarry in providing us assistance, good people, for retail trade is the backbone of a healthy economy, meaning the financial well-being of the city's merchants lies in all your best interests. Sylvester Amello, merchant. Personal announcement. Widower, a 60 years of age, of medium height, above average intellect, possessing a fortune in both species and real estate, seeks old maid or childless widows of similar age or somewhat older, preferably from a landed family. Those interested are requested to send a missive with a faithful engraving of their likeness included. To post a residence Greekov, C.O. Romantic. P.S. No responses will be given to letters without a full name and valid return address. Women of the elder races, halflings in particular, need not inquire. Great. Old maids or childless widows. Amazing. Monster in the bits. By order of city council, blah blah, a reward has been set aside for the killing of the monster which torments and murders residents of the Brits after dark. The only acceptable proof of having performed this deed shall be a trophy taken from the monster's body. Yes, this means your mother's or cousin's or aunt's eyewitness testimony will not suffice, nor will the sworn word of another person, regardless of his or her claimed relationship to you, the hierarch or anyone else, and also without carrying one bit for his or her alleged trustworthiness, which supposedly can be attested to by anyone at your favorite drinking hall. Great. For more information and or to collect the reward, see the district superintendent for the Brits, Lund, by writ of city council, superintendent of Brits. Yeah, I mean, makes sense, you know. Don't just come in and say, I killed it. Who's gonna be your witness? Yeah, it's my mother. Great. Fist fights. Ooh. Anyone looking to bash some heads will find plenty of worthy puns in our fair city. Those interested in joining the fun, sign up for our tournament. You will face these most highly honorable gents. Gregorius Gorg, known as the Pile Driver. Archibald O'Neill, Captain Iron Mortimer, and Durden, known as the Tailor. So we got a lot of different places now. Haunted house. There's another like merchant here. Can I come visit you? An elusive thief.
Yellow eyes, slashed face, just like he said.
Talking about me. Marcus T.K. Hodgson.
Geralt of Rivia, known as the White Wolf, the Butcher of Blaviken.
Yes,
Geralt
yes.
of Rivia's enough. What is it?
A man came to me a few years past, paid me to keep a book for you, said you'd come for it one day.
Who was he?
He didn't introduce himself, but the book has a red cover, that I remember. I'm sure I've not sold it.
All right, see if I can find it.
And perhaps glance at the others while you're at it.
I'm glad to look at the others, yeah.
Be glad to look over what you got.
Your books I have not read. What the heck is this? The Necronomicon. Are you allowed to sell this? Anyway, I got books. I got a lot of extra books that I gotta sell. Game, get the idea. I'm selling one less than what I got. You understand? No, they don't understand. Okay. What shall we promote to Maria? You can have 5 of these. The collected verse. Oh, that's expensive book. Okay. There you go. 2 of these. She Who Knows. 3 orans. I know you're going to be selling this for like an insane amount. 25. Wow, okay. I give it to you for like 3 orans. You sell it for 25 orans? Actual bullshit. Oh, that was a lot of books. Do it yourself. I should at least get like half the price. Or really, if you're selling it, I should get like 10%. Just 10% less of that. You get a 10% like profit margin here. You don't even have to do anything, you know. I bought the book to you. Just pay for it and make profit. There you go. That's all the books I wanted to sell. What new books you got for me? Fauna of the Northern Realms. I'll buy it. A few remarks on basilisks and cockatrices. Wondrous World of Insectoids. Sure. Golem or man's most faithful servant. Sure. Ghouls and Alghouls. I mean, I got money aplenty. So, Beast of the Tuchka Foothills. The World Underground. Wild Hunt. Narsen, son of Gunnarsad. Little peasant who confounded his lord. Sure. The Ways and Manners of Skellige Folk. A freaking Necronomicon. Portrayal of Elder Races. Well, you're extremely rich now. Fauna of the Northern Realms, Volume 1. What is a wolf? What a wolf is, every man knows. Who hasn't heard them howling at night or seen their tracks in the snow come morning? Who hasn't felt a cold chill run down his spine when he catches sight of a pack of 5 of them hunting in the woods? These beautiful animals are treated by men as enemies, and not without reason, for they attack our flocks and will even kill our horses during times of deep frost. Yet they are noble beasts, endowed with great intelligence and displaying a strength and independence that no man can help but admire. Then Beast of the Tuch Foothills. The peasants of the Tukaj Foothills say fiends are born of magic, for at times witches cast spells on bears, causing them to mount boars. What? And the resultant offspring is neither boar nor bear, but the markings of a fiend. Usually such boar piglets die of hunger, but they are at times found and taken in by witches. Raised on enchanted milk, they grow in strength, and soon enough the milk is no longer enough for them. Now fiends, they start hunting and kill their victims with the ferocity of a boar and the strength of a bear, yet they remain ever true to their mothers, meaning the witches. The witches protect them from danger, answer their every summons, and aid them in all things. Why would they have them then? Monster in the sewers, right. The freaking Necronomicon. To think that man appeared on an empty world and gained mastery over it unchallenged is as foolish as thinking the world will cease to exist after man's passing. Before the first humans set foot on our world, it was inhabited by beings superior to men in terms of wisdom, strength, and every other virtue. The beings I have in mind still exist in our present time, though they do not exist in a sphere available to human understanding. What? They occupy no dimension known to us, where they can live, where they live can best be described as a space between worlds. You mean the elves of the Wild Hunt and all? At times, one can sense their presence through a sudden unknown scent or a strange feeling of anxiety with no apparent cause. A wind which blows in several directions at once is another example of their subtle manifestation in our realm. There exist various imaginings of what these creatures might look like, yet these have nothing to do with reality, for man is incapable of conceiving something which he has not seen, even in his wildest nightmares. The greatest horror these beings bring comes precisely from their indefiniteness and lack of concrete form. Yet it would be a mistake to think that a formless creature is unnecessarily harmless. The power they possess is sufficient to lay waste to a forest, level a city, or whip an entire sea into froth and waves. Today, man is master of the world, but only for a short while. They await patiently and will soon arise and regain their one-time glory. This is as certain as dawn follows dusk, and dusk then follows again soon after, to drown everything once more in darkness. Why is this? I think the Necronomicon helps you raise the dead. What's all this shit? The ways and manners of Skellig folk. One's attention immediately is drawn to the fact that their seemingly impoverished huts shine with cleanliness. The walls of their homes are usually made from pine and covered with a substance derived from sap, which keeps out all manner of vermin. I believe it scares off insects as well, for I did not see a single one indoors during my entire stay in Skellig. The interiors of their huts are quite spacious and usually divided into two rooms. The first is used by the members of the household during the day and is separated by a doorway from the second, which acts as a bedroom and contains only simple wooden beds covered with linens that resemble sacks more than continental bedding. In the middle of each main chamber stands a large round table around which the members of the household gather to eat only once a day. This usually happens just after dusk, the time for their main meal. This supper is a hallowed event and is carried out in nearly ritualistic manner. At its start, before the family members have even taken their seats around the table, the eldest of the family tears off a piece of bread and places it on something of a household altar, which occupies a place of honor in each Skellig home. This serves as a symbol of respect for deceased ancestors. At the end of the ceremony for the departed, the entire family sits down to eat. The eldest woman places a steaming bowl in the middle of the table. Everyone has their own spoon, which they dip one by one into the basin of food. They most often eat porridge, over which they pour a gravy made from meat or fish. Curiously, immediately upon the supper's conclusion, the eldest takes the piece of bread set aside at the start of the meal and places it in a large amphora. As I later learned, when an amphora becomes full, it is filled with boiling water and a beverage is brewed which in taste somewhat resembles beer, though it is much weaker. Just a bunch of spoiled bread? Come on, man. The little peasant who confounded his lord. Well, what do you want? Grumbled the page, looking at Reuben's shirt, which was covered in the same filth as everywhere else in the village. Well, nothing rightly, Reuben shrugged. Thing is, sir, this here's me home. Then get inside it. The boy wasn't scared and instead stood on his doorstep, looking at the piece of paper. What's this, sir? A letter, the boy asked. Read it and find out for yourself, the scribe said, growing angrier, though Reuben didn't seem to notice. Afeared I can't, sir. Don't know how. What the devil's taken you, scribe? The Lord, or what the devil's taking you, scribe? The Lord hollered. He was still sitting in his carriage and hadn't heard the conversation. Clearly, he was growing bored. The whelp says he doesn't know how to read. Aye, cause he don't, Reuben confirmed and took 2 steps toward the carriage, his bare feet sinking into the muddy grey muck. And the one inside, do they? Questioned the Lord. Where do you reckon they'd learn a thing like that, my lord? The peasant asked, perplexed, for he had always thought great lords like that must surely know everything. So who in your village does know how to read? Asked the lord, growing ever more irritated. Not no one, my lord. Scribe, said the lord, leaning far out while leaning on his carriage door. Could you explain to me how I am to enforce my declaration on people who do not know how to read and write? I don't know, my lord, the scribe said, taking a step back as if he expected the lord to jump out of the carriage and assault him. The fault was not his, but the lord was in the habit of beating his scribe when he grew angry, no matter the cause. Great. Nice job you got. I just double-clicked. Triple-clicked. We got Nersin, son of Gunstad. When he awoke, he saw before him an endless swath of blue. On the horizon, the sky merged with the glassy sea. The storm had passed, so had the longship and all its crew. He never learned how long he had lain unconscious in the lifeboat. The sun had scorched his skin a purplish red and turned his lips to brittle parchment. He was overcome by a great thirst, but there was nothing on the boat with which to quench it. Had he been spared from so much only to die now? No, Narasin was the son of the great Gunestad, and he would never give up. He had 20 springs under his belt when he embarked on this voyage. When was that? Long ago, very long ago. Back when his friend still lived, when he still had his left hand, not this stiff stump. When his beard was still red and not streaked with silver. Ah. The drive for glory which had driven him from his family home had demanded a high price. Narasen had never given that a second thought, but now, alone in a lifeboat in the middle of an endless ocean, he felt tired. He wanted once again to set eyes on the farm on which he had been raised, to see the eyes of his mother, who had lulled him to sleep with the tales of the deeds of the legendary heroes. Now he had become one of them. Now mothers would tell their sons about him. His greatest dream had become reality. He should have been happy, but he wasn't. Perhaps if he had known that what travails and hardships awaited him. Yet no man can know his future. One thing is sure, however, even if Narasen had known what horrors this life had in store for him, he never would have chosen another. He was the son of the great Gunnerstad, and he had walked the path of glory, from which no one can oh god. From which one can never stray, no matter the cost. Right. The wild hunt. A frail ribbon flickers across the sky, the rider's spectral silhouettes barely discernible within it. Then the cavalcade contorts closer and closer, revealing more and more of their ghastly form. Now the buffalo horns atop their helms penetrate one's view, now the crest betwixt them, and now the skull-like face exposed beneath their visors. The riders sit astride skeletal mounts, bits of braiding struck to their sides like boils. A furious gale howls through the willows. Their blades now glisten like unfailing stars in the black sky. The wind howls louder and louder. No, that is not wind, that is ghoul song. Suddenly the nightmarish cavalcade twists once more, the hooves of its ghostly mounts churning the light of will-o'-the-wisps hanging above the bog. At the head of the cavalcade rides the king of the hunt. A rust-eaten bascinet sways above a skull-like mask. Gaping eye sockets burn with a pale blue fire. Around him whirls a tattered cloak. A necklace rattles atop his rust-covered breastplate. Holes empty as the abyss stare out from it. Why so much rust? It's supposed to be like super powerful. Can't you just make like anti-rust armor? Stainless steel? Holes empty as the abyss stare out from it. Once they were filled with precious stones, but these fell out during his race across the skies and became stars. Okay, well that's not true probably. The king of the hunt laughs, his teeth rotten as the grave snapping above the rusted collar of his breastplate. The blue flames in the eye sockets of his skeleton mask roar. Some of it is true, not all of it though, I think. The world underground. We hunkered down for the night in a cave so enormous, the light from our torches faded into the murky black without revealing any upper bound to it. For most of the night, all we could hear was the rushing of water somewhere behind the wall of the cave. Yet after some time, it is hard to say how much, for we had lost all sense of where the day ended and night began. We heard a sort of scraping noise and the sound of boulders shifting. The scrapping turned into a roar, but by that time we were already on our feet and running toward the tunnel through which we had entered the cave. We did so none too soon, but the shifting had opened up a new passage in the cavern, which began to spew out hordes of small misshapen humanoids, neckers. Without breaking stride, I looked over my shoulder, and in the midst of the mass of midgets, I spied the outline of a large black troll. Thus began our run for our lives. Yeah, probably a bunch of neckers and an ogre. Right, ghouls and al-ghouls. As for the genesis of ghouls, there are hypotheses aplenty. Some scholars claim these monstrosities arose from scoundrels who indulged in a taste for human flesh and for this misdeed drew the wrath of the heavens down upon themselves. The gods punished them by taking away their souls, their minds and their human forms. My experiments have shown, however, that ghoul anatomy displays far too little in common with that of humans for this thesis to seem at all probable. Okay. Any and all similarity in appearance between ghouls and men, such as their somewhat kindred shapes and the measures of their physiognomies, and are pure matters of identical circumstance. It thus follows that ghouls, like their vile cousins, al-ghouls, are post-conjunction creatures. That is to say, such beings as came to our universe in an abrupt cataclysm, disrupting the normal laws of nature. They are monsters, yes. Our rune riders come, yes. Golem, or man's most faithful servant. Not the golem in Lord of the Rings though. Not very faithful at all, that one. Despite what you might have heard, the first golem was created not by a powerful mage or an elven sage, but by a simple dwarf from Maribor named Bruvano Sestio, or brickmaker. The faithful act of creation took place over a century ago, when the persecution of non-humans was in full swing in Maribor. Elves and dwarves had been accused of bringing an epidemic to the city, though it was later discovered the outbreak had been caused by a man named Matteo, a barkeep's dog's body at the Golden Goose Inn. This Matteo was charged with both serving meals and cleaning latrines, and would only wash his hands once a month, and then not very thoroughly. The rest, as they say, is history. Great, of course, very good. No investigation, just blame it on the different people. The persecution of non-humans was limited at first to robbing their shops, arson, and the occasional beating, but the violence soon escalated into a bloody pogrom. As the city guards looked on without lifting a finger, humans murdered elves and dwarves during 3 days and 3 nights of slaughter, killing over 300 individuals, including the aforementioned Bordovena Sessio's entire family. Driven mad with grief and thirsting for vengeance, Boniavera molded a 10-foot tall humanoid out of clay, and then carved the names of the slain non-humans onto it, along with a smattering of dwarven curses. Once finished, he slit his own throat, and where his blood splattered his gigantic statue, it came alive and started walking towards the city. Bonavena had his sweet revenge on his persecutors. His creation killed almost 500 humans, including the mayor and the entire city council, before the soldiers from the city garrison could take it out by using their ballista. Oh god, it took a dang ballista. Huh? The Conclave's later investigation found that Bonavera had possessed hidden magic talent. Though he had never had any training, the torrent of powerful emotions running through him at the time of his death flushed out his latent powers and created from them a new spell. After numerous alterations and improvements, one can now cast a spell without sacrificing one's life, and golems guard laboratories, libraries, and palaces across the continent. I've killed a few of them. They're not that bad. Wondrous world of insectoids. One is hard-pressed to think of a creature more hard-working and better organized than the Intriga. They are ants. Ants, bees, and termites are no match for them in this regard. Really. Intrigas best even humans when it comes to foresightedness and industry. In fact, the human race could benefit a great deal from following their example, resigning from the primitive and obsolete social structures of feudalism and adopting instead a form of arachno-communism. How are we going to do that? We don't communicate like they do. In arachno-communism, every individual has a specific place and performs a specific labor for the common goal. The roles are as follows: worker, soldier, and a queen. Each comrade contributes to the necessary daily toil according to his special abilities and takes from the common fund of wealth according to his special needs. Doesn't make sense. It's communism, but doesn't make sense. A few remarks on basilisk and cockatrices. Why you got such big eyes, Grandmom asked the little girl with worry. Shriek, shriek, replied the basilisk. Grandmom, why do you say shriek, shriek? Asked the little girl with surprise. The basilisk didn't reply, but instead clamped its toothy venomous maw over the curious girl and swallowed her up. Great. Luckily, a witcher by the name of Eskel, I know him, was wandering these lands in search of a Zeegul. The witcher was experienced and so knew basilisks only turn people to stone in fairy tales. He also knew it was best to avoid their venom. Eskel noticed the monster had recently eaten. And before anyone could say ready, steady, go, he threw himself at the beast and cut it open with his silver sword. The basilisk's stomach opened up, and the witches saw the half-digested, foolish little girl inside. She was alive. Wow. Monster in the Bits, Monster in Oxenford, Haunted House, and a portrayal of the Elder Race, the last book, finally. What is a non-human? The answer is simple. The very name suggests it. It is something which resembles, and yet nevertheless is not, a human. Though it walks on 2 legs, speaks a tongue similar to our own, and dresses in similar attire, it all the same has more in common with base beast than noble man. Come on. Dwarves are like moles. Really? They feel best underground and avoid direct sunlight. They like to live in filth, forever smudging themselves in mud and slime. They love everything and can be found. They love everything that can be found within the 1 second. 1 second. Alright. They like to live in filth, forever smudging themselves in mud and slime. They love everything that can be found within the earth: rocks, metal, minerals of all shape and colors. It is also said that, like their kindred moles, they feed most readily on worms, roaches, and other night crawlers. Wow, okay. So just lies. Halflings, for their part, are more reminiscent of gophers, fat, lazy, and loud in their typical rodent way. Their minds are filled only with thoughts of food and drink, which they steal from other nobler beasts and greedily squirrel away in their hovels. They are marked by a cruel craftiness. You could be dying of hunger and they would not share a meal with you. You could be howling from poverty and they could be swimming in gold, and yet they would still fleece you to the last crown. You could do nothing but good to them and they would still stab a knife in your back. Right. Elves in turn are seem related to the birds of prey that dwell in far off Zeracania. They care most for colored feathers. They would most readily spend all day staring at the reflections in the water and singing their own praises. They are so awash in self-love that they no longer feel any desire towards members of the opposite sex of their own species. Their appearance, unquestionably present to the eye, is highly misleading, for they are extraordinarily cruel, and any who judge them by looks alone, they first dupe, then kill in cold blood. The best proof of this, the so-called Scoia'tael, bandits that claim to fight for freedom, but in truth only long to kill humans. And these wild so-called elder races are, to our great fortune, slowly dying out. Joy fills the heart for every right-thinking man at the thought that his great-grandchildren will never know them, that in their day dwarves, halflings and elves will be mere fairy tale characters used to scare young, impressionable children. Okay, well, someone's extremely racist with these books. Message from an old friend. Find a book with a red cover. I mean, there's hundreds of books with red covers. Geralt stopped by a certain Novigrad book merchant whose owner recognized him at once. He said someone had left a book with him a long time ago with instructions to give it to Geralt if he ever got the chance. This naturally piqued the witch's curiosity. Sadly, the book dealer did not know the book's exact present location and only had a red cover, and that Geralt should look for it in his stacks of dusty tomes and manuscripts. Okay, well, there's one here. The Merry Adventures of Muriel, the Lovely Harlot.
The Merry Adventures of Muriel, the Lovely Harlot, adorned with humorous engravings.
That's not it, right? On one occasion, Muriel went on a journey to see her auntie in Maribor, accompanied by her nursemaid. Their path took them through a forest, and in this forest lived a raucous troop of bandits. His infamous group was led by Flynn Slems, and all the king's men had been unable to bring him to justice. Alas, such was Muriel's great misfortune that these bandits chose to attack her carriage. Muriel's nursemaid was old, blind and deaf. She did not wake when a tree fell in front of their carriage with a loud thud, nor when the bandits fought a fierce battle against their guardsmen. When Flynn ripped open the carriage door with his muscular arms and stepped inside, Muriel had to deal with the danger herself. "Make our guest comfortable, young lady," the old nursemaid muttered in her sleep. Muriel obediently carried out her instructions. Great. Illustrated edition. Yeah, but that's not the book you're looking for, I think. You have just a pile of books lying here. What kind of bookseller are you? You have books lying on the staircase too. Dude, you have enough space. You can organize these books. The treatment of fun-dwellers through cauterization.
The treatment of furuncles through cauterization. A study.
Furuncles. Everyone's seen a boil, usually more than they'd care to. These deformities don't just mar your beauty. They can be signs of disease, or even the disease's cause and epicenter. If your lungs wheeze and your heart flutters, or if you're just sick of pustules, you can carve them off and be free of this ill for good. Really? I don't think so. When you go to carve off a boil, use a sharp knife which you've had for a dog lick. What? Which you've had a dog lick. This is horrible instructions. Thoroughly beforehand. You want a dog's tongue? For a dog's tongue works wonders in healing wounds. Really? I don't think so. You gotta be brave as you go about it, slicing and as confidently and steadily as if carving off a hunk of cheese. Then quickly cauterize the resulting wound using a red-hot poker. Don't pay any mind to screams or tears. Pus, bile and any other humors need to be gathered in a basin, then dumped in the pit and covered, else the illness might return. Yeah, no, this is a horrible instructions. Is there another dude up here? My manifesto, the life of Jacques de Albert.
My manifesto. Must be it. There's a letter inside.
The life of Jacques de Aldersberg. I've heard that name. The reasons for choosing Jacques de Aldersberg as Grand Master remain a mystery. The Order of the White Rose had gone through a crisis in those times and was on the verge of collapse. So one might guess that the Brethren wished to have someone decisive as their leaders. Someone with a clear vision. De Aldersberg was precisely such a man. One of his first decisions was to change the Brotherhood's name to the Order of the Flaming Rose. The most puzzling aspect, however, is that the Order and the King himself decided to trust a man who, for all intents and purposes, had appeared out of nowhere. They say he was a wanderer, an itinerant priest who moved crowds with his speeches, declaiming non-humans. They say he worked miracles and showed his flock visions of a world destroyed by the White Frost. He was undoubtedly a man of great charisma, one instilled with unshakable principles, which he in turn tried to instill in others. Was he truly a source? Was he indeed gifted with raw magic talent? That we will never know for certain. Letter from A. Witcher. In the ocean of possibilities, some events are more likely and some less. It is not easy to fish out the first, not even when one's intellect stretches through all time and space. Time and space, huh? I left this letter for you in hopes that despite all odds, you will come across it one day. For I must warn you, mankind is threatened, it always is. The prophesied destruction by the White Frost is not just the blabbering of some mad she-elf. Perhaps I will have the opportunity to convince you of this in person. If not, I must rely on this letter, which you will read many years from now, and at a time when you know more than you did when we first met. Know that nothing will save the world except for preparing its entire population for the catastrophe. The old tales say a child of the elder blood can stave off the danger, but I tried and failed. Ever since, I have been haunted by a hideous vision, a crowned wraith, the spectre of my failure. I was the chosen one, and the chosen one failed. You and your brotherhood are our only hope. When the time of the wolf's blizzard comes, men shall perish, and only the Ubermen will survive. Your duty is to give the world Ubermen. Whatever you think of me, do not fail as I have failed. Yeah, you tried that also, I guess. What is completed? He's not really a friend, was he? I mean, he tried to kill me. Geralt found the book and inside it a letter from someone he had once known. Though he gave no outward sign of it, this filled him with the touching recollections of old times. To this day, I don't know who the old friend was, nor what he had written in the letter. And that's a shame, judging by Geralt's behavior. Therein lies a very interesting tale. It's the first game. The Moribunda, the vampire's last likeness. 51 crowns as well. For what? Who gave me the crowns? Thereupon Isabella took Edward's glistening visage in her hand and embraced his icy lips, which were twisted into a cynical grin. Forgive me, my love, she whispered, stifling the sobs heaving her bosom. But my heart doth long with fiercer passion for yon werewolf, whom thou hast with thy vampiric thoughts. What? 'Tis for the best, spoke Edward, stifling his pale face towards the equally pale moon. With me thy life was ever endangered. With yon werewolf thou shalt know peace and happiness. What? Edward turned around and took a step towards the exit, but Isabella grabbed his wrist and bade him stop. The touch of her hand was so tender that his heart newly began to beat anew after centuries of deadly stillness. There is more, spoke she, averting his penetrating gaze. I am with child. Wait. Tyromancy, the noble art of cheese divination. Cheese divination! What splendid diversity reigns in the kingdom of cheese! The ripened curd can be white or blue, hard or soft, fresh or aged, from the milk of cows, sheep, goats, burned, pickled or untouched. The list could go on till the end of time, and each of them, every last slice, every morsel and crumb, not only brings with it an unmatched rush of sensory experience, but in the right hands can be made to reveal the universe's most closely guarded secrets. Why not? Honestly, why not just read? You read future out of entrails anyway. Why not just cheese? Why not use freaking tomato ketchup too? For cheese, like the innards of sacrificed animals, there you go, the flight of a swallow or vivid dreams can be used for divination. The depth and size of a cheese's holes reveal when rains will fall in the coming year, while the color of mold veins tells who shall love whom, and the scent of a hard Garna Pejanko predicts which army will vanquish its foes and which shall perish. The best divination, however, is done using the ancient method of fondue. One must simply melt two different kinds of cheese, preferably Emmental and Gruyere, in white wine, or in a pinch in a dry apple cider. Then one must use a long stick to immerse a morsel of bread in the resultant thick soupy mixture, all the while keeping in mind the question, what shall my child be like when he or she, as the case may be, grows? Then bring the cheese-covered morsel of bread up to a candle so that it casts a shadow on the wall. The shape will provide a sure and easily understood answer to your query. I doubt that. Very much doubt that any of this is true. It's just rubbish. Alright, Marcus.
Interested in books? You don't look the scholar, but we've ones with drawings as well.
I'm a freaking witcher. You play cards? What the heck?
Let's see these books of yours.
I already bought all the books he had. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah, for other items I have nothing else to sell you right now. Play cards? He plays freaking cards. Let's go. Destroy
Up
him.
for a few rounds of Gwent?
He's a bookseller. He must have some good cards. Come on. He's an actual nerd. The actual definition of nerd is a bookseller. What? Northern Realms me. What am I doing? Deck's pretty strong still. Deck's pretty strong. I should really not keep. But they get pretty freaking strong. If I have 2 of them, they become 8 strength. Square Delpoke to go first. Honestly, I prefer that. I prefer my enemies going first. Philippa Earlhart, I forgot I just got her too. All very good cards. Sheila, get out of here. Done Banner Medic, insane. Do we have a decoy? We do. Honestly, do it. I'm gonna win this. You're done. You're done for. Unless you have some insane cards, you're done. Dandelion? What the heck? Can't do that. Dandelion, you're a cynic, a leecher, a whoremonger, a liar, and my best friend. Good. And he just straight up commanders on. Okay, but you can't have multiple in a row. Okay, so this is just a commanders on in a different name. That's fine. Your opponent has passed. Was that smart on your side? I don't think so. What do you got? 10 strength. 8 plus 8 that's too much. I think I can just do like this. And this, and that does it. There you go. Not wise. That was not wise. I got a commander's one too, so yeah, about your chances of winning, I would say they're very low. I'll even bring the cards I use back. Here you go, I got a freaking catapult back. What are you gonna do about it? Habakan Smuggler. You got 2 more of them. Unfortunate, but what are you gonna do, right? There you go, let's bring back our other trebuchet. There you go, so we're using all our cards. A freaking Dryad Queen. Legendary Dryad Queen. The Dryad Queen has eyes of molten silver and a heart of cold forged steel. Ethylene. Like Ethylene prophecy, I guess. Yeah, makes sense. Philippa Earlhart. Here you go. You have legendaries? I have legendaries too. Oh, what's your ability, by the way? Oh, okay. To be expected, but good to get it over with. Do not let my beauty distract your aim. Francesca Finderwear the Beautiful. Double the strength of all your ranged combat units, unless a commander's horn is also present on that row. Okay. I see. So it's just a commander's horn. I'll wait and see if you have any of the... I don't think you have any more Scorch cards. Or spies. I doubt it. You'll have paid a spy by now. Give my medic back. I'll bring back one of my cards. It just places a commander's horn. No, not a big deal. What even are you? We are the drops of rain that together make a ferocious storm. It's Yavin. Alright, Yavin. You do you, buddy. There you go. Just bought back a trebuchet of mine that was dead. Havaka Healer? No, you piece of shit. The decoy would have been so much better used back there. You got a freaking legendary card too. Bro, you're a piece of shit. But it doesn't like... 1 minute. Does it just work always? This is only a single time trigger, right? It doesn't constantly work. Destroy your enemy's strongest close combat card with the combined strength of all is 10 or more. Yeah, so this shouldn't work. Yeah, whatever. Then it's the wrong time to play that card. You got Yorvith too. Yeah, I don't know how well I'm gonna be doing here. I should be fine. Oh shit, another Havaka Healer. Okay, I'm not gonna be fine. I will lose this. You'll have 3 cards while I have 2. He will lose his commander's horns though. You know what? Yeah, I dodge. By dodge I mean I just end my turn. Okay, I'm screwed. I lose. I lose. I just lose. You guys, mysterious elf, he has spies. The mysterious elf is just OP. Okay, I'm done. Dude, you are too good. How many great cards do you have? This is all I got is trash. It doesn't really help you or hurt you. That's all I got. You just killed it. Okay, well, I'm done. I'm done. GG. Well played. I'll play you again. The bookseller is a good player. I lose money here. I'll play you again. I am back. We'll play cards again. I always play high stakes.
Up for a few rounds of Gwent?
What's more interesting for me is the card. Because I don't have to give up cards, which is kind of OP. You go first. 2 decoys. Okay. But I think the only spy you have is a... it's not a very good one. It's not one I can like take back. Okay, come on. Bro, it's not a good hand. This is a terrible hand to start with. Yeah, screw Dandelion. And he has so many medics, dude. This hand is not gonna get me anywhere. I need him to play spies for this hand to work, but he's not gonna do it. And he has Scorch too, doesn't he? Yikes. Yeah, I'm done for. Yep, he just immediately killed it. Okay, well, better than killing it later. Amazing. Amazing. I'm done for. But why? But why? I must ask the question, but why? Okay, tell you what. You probably have some spies. Play him. Play him. Okay, you didn't. That's not good. Play a freaking spy. You have Geralt of Rivia? Bro. Bro, I'm done. If that's what it takes to save the world, it's better let that world die. Right. 15 strength card. I'm screwed. You won't even die. Yeah, I'm done for. Dude, this guy is OP. Here comes Dandelion back. Welcome to lose. Oh my god, he has Cyril. Oh no. Oh no. Know when fairy tales cease to be tales, when people start believing them. Amazing. I got a commander's horn of my own. Yavin. Front row, double strength. Get destroyed. You pass, eh? I would really rather you didn't pass. Because all I got is decoys. Can I take this 7 strength one back? I can. Okay, you know what? Do that. Because that'll take me down to 40. That still is above... yeah, okay. I draw a card. I might win. I find it highly unlikely. Yeah, very highly unlikely, but I might. That was just a throwaway extra card I got. Okay. Come on! What am I supposed to do, man? There you go. I have a freaking trebuchet, I guess. Barclay Elves. Our meat smells like, oh, it's this guy again. Freaking, here's a dragon. Play another close combat card so I can burn him. Okay, you didn't. I win? No, I don't just win. I screw you too before I win. Get freaking burned to death, piece of shit. I beat your ass. Even with your amazing cards. Now give me an amazing card of your own. Of my own now. Imlet? What the hell is Imlet? What the heck is this? I hope you didn't give me a piece of shit card. I will be very angry if you did that. Oh, you gave me a pretty good card. Lad Gnaw, kill them, litter the earth with their entrails. It's an amazing monster card. Okay, put him in, thank you. Still nowhere close to what I need. Come on, where the hell was Geralt?
Ah, you're back.
No, farewell. I'm done with you.
Farewell.
Alright. This was a long experience. Find a boat. No. We're going to look for Pyres of Novigrad. I guess this is the Pyres of Novigrad they're talking about.
I'm knackered.
Burning people you're talking about? It's pretty bad.
The Butcher of Blaviken.
What do you want?
Eternal fire burn away your sins.
Yeah, I'll burn away you. Vivaldi?
Well, look who's here. The White Wolf himself in my humble establishment.
I saved
How
your
can I
damn
be
place.
of service?
In the second game. I need a loan? I'll have to convert some currency. Hell yeah.
Got some coin I'd like to convert into crowns.
You've come to the right place. A better rate you'll not find anywhere in the city.
Convert it all. 1,729 crowns.
Well, another freak.
How can I be of service?
I can also ask for a loan.
I need coin. Guess I have to take out a loan?
Of course, I'll arrange it right away.
Just like that?
Lady Yennefer of Vengerberg long ago declared herself your guarantor, were these circumstances ever to arise.
Really?
Besides, we tried and true methods for collecting debts.
Wait, I don't want a debt. I don't want it. I don't want it yet now. 100
How
crowns.
can I be of service?
130?
Want to pay back my loan.
Splendid. I see you as even more credit worthy than before.
What the heck? I thought you would ask me how much
How's
you
business?
want. And I would say
Really?
nothing.
That's the best you got. That's like asking a fisherman if they're biting, or an old gran about her health. Business is booming. There's profit to be made from war, provided you've the know-how. Before Nilfgaard had even crossed the Pontar, I'd contracted for insured deliveries of wood and iron from Kovir. Reaped a 7-fold return on my investment.
Nice.
So you might think. But then there's the non-human poll tax, the church's tithe, war taxes, and my overhead. Subtract all that and you're left with a pittance. A dozen or so chests and no more.
Chests of gold, eh? Let's play some Gwent, buddy.
You play Gwent, don't you?
Oh, sure. Because I'm a dwarf. Is that it? Do you also believe I know every other bleeding dwarf in existence, and at the end of each day, I deepen the mineshaft in my cellar?
Do you play
So
Gwent?
you play or not?
He does.
Aye, I play.
Let's play then.
So play me. Stake a unique card, maybe?
Why not?
Oh, he's in. He is in. He's about to get completely screwed. Or I am gonna get screwed, honestly, if he has like 100 legendary cards. He's a Scoia'tael. Okay, obviously. I have legendaries. I have Yennefer. Okay. A spy. I like spies. Do I have a decoy? I have a decoy. I have a horn. I have 2 horns. Okay, well, that's less That's good, but okay. Everyone has dandelion. What the heck? Here, have Drishka. Dunvana medic. Okay, good, good. Dwarven skirmishers. They become very strong. Well, guess what? I got a solution for that. Oh wait, that's not the right one. Oh, that's fine. I'll decoy him back and do it again. Mahakaman Defender. Oop, I'll just take him back. Impenetrable fog. What more can I just waste for a bit? Because I want to just burn out some of his cards. I know he's got some good cards in there. Come on! Oh, you passed. Okay, he played my buff. My bluff. How can I defeat this asshole? Honestly, I could just play him again. And then bring him back from the dead. Yeah, we'll start with that. Get sent to the death. Sent to the death, yes, of course. And just do this, and that works. Get crushed, you lose dandelion, although you probably have like 100 different medics in your station area, whatever. I got a freaking decoy, which is insane. I'll just start with the freaking this guy. Just a throwaway. See what he's got now. Vesemir. What the hell is my dude? If you're to be hanged, ask for water. Anything can happen before they fetch it. Great. Good advice, mentor. Good advice. Commander's Horn. I'm sorry, my mentor. Deeply sorry. But it is time you will die. Get sent to the Shadow Realm. Dennis Kramer. I should have waited. Let's see if he's got more. I could have killed 2 with 1, so that's why I should have waited. Mahakaman Defender. Not as good. Freaking just play this. Come on, give me another 6 strength. Torrential Rain. I'll just get rid of that. Doesn't matter. Give it back to me. It's time for you to burn again. 2 defenders. Aw, I can't kill them. I can only kill this one. A commander's horn that does nothing. You just lost. What is even your ability? Draw an extra card? Didn't seem to work. Guess what? Full test just screwed ya. I mean, I was winning anyway, but there goes your reign. And guess what? Here's freaking Zoltan Shibi on my side. And guess what? Here's a freaking commander's one just to screw you up even more. Alright, give me that freaking unique card of yours.
Can't rightly recall the last time I was so thoroughly thrashed.
Well, you were thrashed.
The card's yours.
Tried your
deserve
best.
it.
Tell me, who else would have worthwhile cards?
There's Marquise Serenity, for instance.
Serenity, okay.
She don't boast about it, but she has one of the best decks in town, and uses it damn well. I know what I'm talking about.
Alright, sure. Big city players. Win a card from the Marquise Serenity. Novigrad is a cosmopolitan city. A true melting pot of diverse diversities. It thus comes as no surprise that the free city contains a multitude of top-class Gwent players from all strata and races, each linked by the fact that they possess highly powerful cards. Geralt decided to make the rounds of the Novigrad Gwent circuit and win these cards for himself. I mean, of course I will. He gave me picking Vesemir, okay. Vesemir doesn't do anything, he's just a 6 strength card, right? Unfortunately, he's not very, but he might be a neutral, as in I can put him in any army, in which case, bye-bye Zoltan. Hello, Vesemir. Yeah, just a normal 6 strength card. Usable in every single faction? It is indeed. Alright. Boom. Just put him in there. He's a good card. Better than some of the other
How
options.
can I be of service?
You can just give me a loan. Okay, well, no.
Till next time.
Can I rob the bank? This is really the bank. It's so rich. All you got is this tiny office. The Rosemary and Thyme, the hottest spot in Novigrad. Does look like it.
The
We got an armorer.
We'll see right away. I've got the best deals this side of the Ponto.
Right, of course you do. So says everyone else. This place has like, it's got a lot of shops. I mean, this is the main square, I suppose. Yeah, we got an innkeep here as well. That's going to be another good card for me. Should I play him? No, we have no time. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one.